spoilers, this is your last chance. Okay. Wow. Multiverse of Madness was fucking incredible. It somehow lived up to my sky-high expectations. This was one of my most anticipated Marvel movies probably of all time, which is saying something. I didn't watch any trailers or promotional material for this at all. So I went into this movie completely fresh, and it was everything that I could have wanted. The story was amazing, and honestly, Wanda carried it. I love Doctor Strange, but this movie could have been called The Scarlet Witch in the Multiverse of Madness because her story really is the heart of the entire movie, and it felt like such a satisfying wrap-up to the story we've been building up to since Age of Ultron. And I wasn't sure how much of a direct tie-in this was gonna be to WandaVision, but it was directly dealing with that and the loss of her children, and it was handled so well. And I love how they didn't pull any punches when it came to the Scarlet Witch. It was the one thing going into this movie that I was worried about. I thought they were going to water down how evil the Scarlet Witch is and make her story more mellow / fluffy. But my god was I wrong, and I was so happy that I was, because this movie wasted no time just immediately establishing that yes, Wanda Maximoff is the villain. Something that has been building up all these years, and something that a lot of people didn't think was actually gonna pay off. They thought, she's not actually gonna become a real villain. There was even a comment on one of my videos not too long ago that said all that was just a red herring. But it wasn't, and it was incredible how she immediately just started killing people, because that's what she does. She's unstoppable, all-powerful, and corrupted by the Darkhold. And it was just amazing to see them not hold back on that aspect at all. And on top of that, I have to say the pacing of this movie was incredible. I was worried, or not even worried, just disappointed when I heard that it was only 2 hours. But then I thought back on Shang-Chi and the Eternals and just thought how, some parts of those movies really dragged, and was kind of excited to have a movie that was 2 hours because I thought, hey, this one might be really well paced. And it was. It wasted no time getting right into the story. Like I said, I thought they were gonna kind of have Wanda be sort of evil, then she gets more evil, then she's really evil, then somehow defeated. But no, it was like, yep, she read the Darkhold, she's already corrupted, and she's here to kill people. And on top of that, another thing that I really worried they were gonna do is that they weren't gonna be consistent with her powers and her goals. Like I said, I was so excited to see evil Wanda, but knowing Marvel and just kind of knowing movies in general, especially ones that are kind of PG-13 action movies, I didn't think she was gonna be as villainous as she was. But again, thank goodness I was wrong. She immediately went and killed multiple people and then didn't stop, and she was so consistent and was by far the most consistent part of the movie and probably one of the most consistent characters in all of the MCU. She is so well written, and to see her character have a drive and focus that did not stop until the last second of the movie was so satisfying. It feels like we've been conditioned to have characters kind of back off and be inconsistent in those areas. Like when Tony Stark was like, we can't hurt kids, but also let's bring in Peter Parker because that would be cool. It was just so nice to see her be a true villain through and through and just be ruthless. The scene against the Illuminati was by far the most shocking and violent scene in all of the MCU. I mean, the Black Bolt death was legitimately on the same level as The Boys, which is not something I ever thought that I would say or see. It was shocking, and again, I can't stress it enough. Just something that made me so happy, as dark as that sounds. It was just nice to see the character be all in. She is evil. They're not bullshitting you. This is real. She is the villain. They did it. Her character arc got her here, and they're not backing away from it. And that brings me to the end, when again, I was worried throughout the entire movie that somehow she was going to be defeated. And again, that's something we have been conditioned to see in movies, and especially the MCU. It's the cliche, oh no, they're too powerful. And then somehow 2 acts later, they're not too powerful when you defeat them. But Wanda wasn't defeated. I thought when America Chavez controlled her powers, she was gonna Rey Skywalker it and somehow be stronger. But no, Wanda was stronger. She immediately overpowered her, and that was so satisfying. and instead she was defeated by wits, and was able to come to her senses thanks to the help of her alternate universe family. And it was a really nice thematic bridge, and it's the way that it should be, because if you're gonna tote a character as the most powerful being in the multiverse, they shouldn't be able to be defeated or overpowered. It's the same thing that they did with Thanos in Infinity War, and it was just as satisfying. You sit there and you think, oh, they're gonna defeat him because that's what you've been conditioned to think, but then at the end when they don't, it is unsatisfyingly satisfying. And this movie had exactly that. Now, as for Doctor Strange's character, I thought he was great, and Benedict Cumberbatch was amazing, and so was Elizabeth Olsen, but it really was Wanda's story. And as much as his emotional core of the film was important, I still think Wanda's was by far the better and most important. But Doctor Strange was, as always, super awesome, super cool. I really love how creative they got with the fights. It's one of the things I was most looking forward to, was the fighting with their powers, something that we don't see a lot of in these movies. It's normally just punching, but when you have the power of a sorcerer or the power of a witch, you can just pop someone's skull or razor blade a bus in half. And it was awesome to actually see them utilize that power. Now, as for the visuals of the movie, it looked incredible, and I just love the look of these films, and Sam Raimi just did an amazing job with it. Like, truly incredible. His whole style was so prevalent throughout the whole film, and the creepy horror aspect of it was just perfect to me. It's something that I thought was gonna be lost, but it wasn't, and it was just the right amount. It wasn't too in your face, and when it got creepy, it felt unsettling, as it should, and it was just so awesome to watch. And I thought this movie just nailed the right level of wacky craziness that I was hoping for going in. The multiverse hopping and all the different strange variations and monsters we saw were just so cool and unique. And it just felt like that perfect blend of super cool, trippy visual Marvel film and comic book. I mean, the perfect example was that music fight against that three-eyed Strange. It was just the perfect blend of comic book and MCU blockbuster. I absolutely loved it. As for Scarlet Witch again, I really hope she's not dead. That would really suck. She is my favorite character by far, and with movies like this, she just keeps adding to the resume that I could show people when they argue with me. I don't know if she's dead in this universe and we'll see an alternate universe version of her. I really hope it's this same version, but I just hope sometime, somewhere in the future, we'll see her character again. And same for Doctor Strange. I feel like we just need more development from him. We really need more. And yeah, I really love this movie. What would I rate it? I really wouldn't give it a number rating. I'm not a fan of those. But I would say it's an awesome movie that is one of my favorites already in the MCU, and I think I like better than Spider-Man No Way Home. It's still really fresh for me, so my opinion and my thoughts are going to be a little skewed right now, but it was just a really fun watch. After all the waiting and after me not watching anything or hearing anything about it, it just felt so satisfying and felt like a proper payoff to both Doctor Strange, who we've waited, I think, 5 or 6 years to see a movie, and Elizabeth Olsen's Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff, who has just been building up over the years and getting better and better and better. So I hope you enjoyed the movie. Let me know. At the end of the day, our petty nitpicks don't really matter. These movies are just supposed to be enjoyed. So go out and watch it, enjoy it, have a good time, and I hope to see you soon.